Hi folks, I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Council Candidates 2021. On November 2nd, Old Bridge residents will go to the polls to elect 6 candidates for the 6 ward seats on the Township Council. We're going to bring you interviews with all of these candidates here on OBTV. First today, I'd like to make a little explanation. Ward 3 at the present time does not have an incumbent. The present incumbent had chosen not to run again, so both candidates here today, both the Democrat and the Republican, are vying for the same seat on the council. To introduce them immediately to my left is the Republican candidate, Enid Crespo, and to my far left here is a Democratic candidate, Kiran Desai. Folks, welcome and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Enid, if I may start with you, people may not be aware of you, know much about you. Could you give us a little overview, a little background?
Sure. My name is Enid Crespo, and I live in London Terrace for approximately 3 years now. I'm a single mom of 3 young men. One of my sons is a special needs child who I advocate always for him. I'm a professional paralegal, been doing that for 9 years. My expertise is problem solving the issue, and I'm here to advocate in behalf of Ward 3.
Okay, thank you. Have you had any political or civic experience in the past, either appointed or elected?
Well, I have run in the past for Perth Board for council.
Okay.
So I have experience in that, running and meeting people and hearing their issues and concerns and trying to solve the problem.
Okay, thank you, Enid. Kiran, if I could ask you the same question, you're a little better well-known in the township, I think, because of your presence in some areas, but maybe for the newcomers, a little overview. Huh?
My name is Kiran Desai. I am a resident of Old Bridge and Ward 3 from 1981, which is 40 years. I have raised my 3 children. They went to Old Bridge Public School, K to 12, and all 3 went to successful career. All 3 has a double major and master. My daughter is an attorney as well as the MBA. Mm-hmm. My son, master in accounting, CPA and MBA.
Yeah.
And my daughter, last one, she has a master in occupation therapy.
Okay.
And all are successful in that career.
Okay, thank you, Kiran. Kiran, if I can stay with you, why are you running at this time?
I see the Ward 3 face many problems.
Yeah.
Ward 3 face many problems.
Right.
And 2 main things which I may be picking up from Reggie's unfinished business. Mm-hmm. Reggie Butler, long time councilman from Ward 3, had a dream that Ward 3 does not have any recreation facility for youth, and specifically the apartment. Mm-hmm. They are situated on Highway 9.
Right.
So there is nothing that they can walk over and reach to the recreation area. Mm-hmm. So he always wanted to create some recreation facility for youth. Mm-hmm. So apartment, people living in apartment can use that. And another issue is the environment. Mm-hmm. Because as we all know, Old Bridge has few heavy industries like medicine and CP.
Yes, sir.
And water is contaminated in my ward, Ward mm-hmm. 3. And chemicals, and the recent that PEN pipeline, which is they are trying to build through the Menzo property on Old Waterworks Road. Mm-hmm. So environment is very dear to me, because what our parent and grandparent left this earth for us, not this bad, and we created a mess out of it.
Okay.
We hear every day all over the world heavy rains and all those things. So I am a student of environment conservation. Mm-hmm. And my ward specifically need, because my ward has a contaminated sites also.
Right.
And I am going to stand up and speak up this cleanup cost must be recovered from those polluters.
Okay, Kiran, if I may, just hold those thoughts because we're going to get back to them a little later. What strength do you think you bring to the council?
Gene, as you
Excuse me.
know, over the years, I have served 12 years on Old Bridge Township Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Okay.
Out of that 12, 10 years continuously I was a chairperson of the zoning board. Also, I have served 1 year as a planning board member, 6 years in Old Bridge Municipal Utility Authority. So, also I serve on a county planning board. So, I have a vast experience how the government and people's business is conducted.
Okay, Karen, thank you for that. Enid, if I may ask you the same question, why are you running for the council?
Well, London Terrace and Ward 3 need someone to listen to them and advocate on their behalves. What I'm looking for is to serve Ward 3 in the community. I acknowledge that the homeowners and renters do need someone to be in their behalves. And what I'm looking to do is to unite Ward 3 and make everyone as one.
Okay, what strengths do you feel you bring to the council? Expertise, background, what would you say?
Well, my expertise in law, doing that I have dealt with clients, and I advocate their behalf and have problem solve their issues. I know I can do the same thing because that's what Ward 3 is looking for, someone who will represent them and advocate on their behalf and be there for them, and that's what I'm here for.
Okay, thank you, Enid. Enid, if I can stay with you for a minute, look at the township broadly for a moment, not just in narrow focus on Ward 3. What do you think the biggest issues facing the township are?
To be honest, it's taxes.
Taxes.
Yes.
Okay. Popular topic these days.
Yes, well, that's what I'm hearing around as I'm talking to the community, are the taxes. And what I'm looking for is to develop the service without raising the taxes.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, and I'm also looking towards like to do a survey to the homeowners and renters and listen to their ideas of what they want to do with the spaces that we have by Kohl's. And also looking like I prefer perhaps to do like our entertainment center.
Okay.
But I would like also to know the ideas of Ward 3 in the community, what they think about it, or what do they want to do with those spaces.
Okay, good, Enid. Thank you very much. Karen, if I could ask you the same thing, what do you think is the biggest township-wide issue? You selected a few just now for Ward 3, but what do you think the township is, aside from just Ward 3?
Township issue, the current administration keeps saying that they did not raise the tax. I agree, they did not raise the rate of the tax. But every 10 years, most of the voters and residents does not know that every 10 years, every town in the state reevaluate their property. So tax dollar automatically go up. If my property was last year assessed as 60,000 and now new assessment is 70,000, so my tax will automatically go up. So I ask voters in Ward 3 and the whole town to check your last 3 years bill, note down what you paid last 3 years and check current year's bill, and you will see that your tax has increased. It's not steady. Also, one other thing, because I'm involved in this town from 40 years, so I can say this for sure. Before, if you want a small addition or alteration in your house, you have to get the building permit. And the permit fee was, let's say back is in 80s, $20. Now it's more than $150.
Wow.
So we are paying indirect because township has to balance the budget, so they cannot raise the tax because it's a state mandated
Yes, sir.
policy.
Right.
So they cannot raise tax beyond certain points. So they have to pick up some revenue. So they are doing increasing fee. Even if you have a dog license, that fee I don't know exactly because I don't have any pet, but that fee also increase. Now, besides that, this township, Jean, because I served all those years in planning and zoning board,
Yes, sir.
what is happening, what we approve today, any new development, you don't see the result or effect in next year or two, because sometime it is not commissioned or built for next 10 years. So
Yes, sir.
you will see the effect, and we are going to see the effect what in last few years. There are many apartments. If you go on Route 9 south from here, Amboy Bank, behind that new big apartments came up. So I'm sure the tax will come also, but each apartment bring 1 or 2 children out. So we don't have an infrastructure. And you just briefly before interview started, we talk about traffic.
Right.
So infrastructure is needed. This town needs the good infrastructure. Water, sewer, roads, school,
Okay.
and to do those things, you need to find a revenue neutral. You should, because as you see on Route 9 and Parine Road, the big box store, Lowe's, is empty, not bringing any dollar to this town. So we, the council people and mayor and administration, has to work to find a good renter for those kind of facility, instead of giving a new permit to Bernati to build a
Okay.
big shop right.
Okay, Kiran, thank you very much. Enid, you heard some of the things that Kiran brought up. What do you think of some of these issues? Have you heard of these as you walk around the township?
What I heard that yes, the taxes are up, but
The overdevelopment,
60%,
the traffic?
well, 60% of the taxes is going to Board of Education.
Yes, sir.
That's a fact. Now, yes, and they're talking about like the developments, like I stated about by Coles, those spaces are there. Now, if like I stated, if we can have like homeowners and the renters of Ward 3, that's the community as well, have an idea what they would like to do with the spaces, that would be great. And like I was stating, I would like to also do like an art entertainment center, which is something beautiful that will be fun for everybody as well.
Is this what your ward people are talking about too? When
Yes,
you walk around
about the spaces that's by Coles.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what they would like to, and that's what I'm interested as well when I talk to them, and I would like their idea to see what is that they would like to do. Have everybody united and come with something that everybody will agree to.
Okay, and that was something we're going to address in part 2. Thank you for bringing it up. Folks, we're getting ready to take a break right now. Would you stay with us, please? We're talking with the candidates for Ward 3. On the Democratic side, we have Kiran Desai. On the Republican side, we have Enid Crespo. Please stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Voting? Here are your options. You can now vote early in person October 23rd through October 31st, or send in a vote by mail ballot postmarked by November 2nd, or vote on Election Day at your assigned voting location. Middlesex County, NJ.gov/vote.
Folks, welcome back to Council Candidates 2021. As I mentioned at the beginning, there is no incumbent in Ward 3 right now, so we have two council candidates vying for the same seat. Enid Crespo on my immediate left here is the Republican, and she is running for the same seat that Kiran Desai, the Democrat, is running for. As I say, there is no incumbent right now, so they're both running for the same seat. If I can pick up where we left off, folks, and Enid, if I could go to you, do you feel, when you look at the council, do you think that one person sitting up on that dais can make a difference?
Yes, I do.
And how do you think they do that?
How would I think it make a difference?
Yeah, how do you think it can make a difference when you have such, different personalities, different issues?
That first is by listening to what the community is looking for Ward 3. Their situation with like I was saying, with the empty spaces. They have an issue with that. They really want that field, instead of doing more construction, more buildings, why don't we utilize what we have there, which is true. And like I was saying, having their ideas will be very constructive. And me being in there for them, advocating their behalf, I'm listening to their concerns. I will serve them.
Okay. So as a Republican candidate up there speaking out, you think you can be a difference maker?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
And definitely.
Kiran, how do you think you can make a difference up there? Can one person make a difference?
Jane, before I answer that portion, I just want to go a little back. What Enid had mentioned earlier. Renters in those apartments, because Ward 3, more than 58% voters are living in renting apartment.
Yes, sir.
London Terrace, Parkwood, New Amsterdam, Madison Gardens. So there are 4 major complexes
Yes, sir.
in apartment. So apartment people sometimes don't think about tax because they are not paying tax directly.
Yeah, good
But
point.
18% of their rent is considered tax.
Yes, sir.
So apartment people also are affected by tax. And continuing on that, being an accountant and a small business owner,
Yes, sir.
managing almost 75 businesses, I know the skill where to look for the waste. And I have proven myself when I was on Municipal Utility Authority
Yes, sir.
serving, and I want to bring out to people in Municipal Authority, I'm not going to name any individual, but they were double dipping, only executive, like a director, assistant director, accountant, chief engineer. They already were participating in a state pension class that any municipal or semi-municipal body participate in state pension. On the top of it, they were getting special pension, what I call as an accountant, simplified employee pension, which was costing MUA. I don't have an exact number, but it was close to 100,000 every year.
Kiran, to pick up on that point, though, as one person up there in 9, can you, in all these issues you just brought up, can you have an impact, you think?
I am sure there will be impact, Gene, because when you see the facts, when you present the fact, I am sure at least 1 or 2 out of those 9 people will understand, hey, this is a good way to stop waste. And I am sure, because as I say, and particular in my language, there is a saying that don't worry about the people following you or no. You think this is good, you just go ahead. And people later on will join you. So that's the way my philosophy, that I have to speak up for the truth, and I am positive the other people, when they realize that this is the way to do it, and I think they will come.
Okay, thank you, Kiran.
So that's, as an accountant, that I can do.
Okay,
Now,
thank you.
answering question how I can work with both party.
Yeah,
I have worked in when I was on zoning board.
right.
Zoning board or planning board, both has a both party members of there, but two parties system. And I had worked with strong Republican at that time, James O'Keefe, who also used to live in Ward 3. He died. Very wonderful person. Strong Republican, but let me tell you, because he was so good in work what he was doing, sometime I do not agree with him, but
Right.
then he will convince you.
But Kiran, you're touching on an interesting point there, if I may. Right now, there's a 7-2 plurality, Republican to Democrat on the council.
Yes, right now, yes.
To your point, to you as a Republican candidate, do you think that's going to help you? The fact there are now 7 Republicans up there and 2 Democrats, is that going to help your campaign at all?
Of course, but I'm not there for the political. Okay, I'm there for the community, for Ward 3. Okay, this has nothing to do whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. This has to do with that Ward 3 in the community has to become one. Okay, a government has nothing to do with what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, oh, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican. No, I'm looking for to unite Ward 3 homeowners and renters, make us into a one solid community, okay, and work as a team and go forward with what, like I stated, to make Old Bridge what it's supposed to be. I moved to Old Bridge because I fell in love with it.
It's a great town.
Yes, I fell in love with the community. I fell in love what it offers and what my son with special needs can benefit out of Old Bridge. That's the reason why. And the reason I'm running is because I know that Ward 3 needs somebody to represent them. Okay, it has nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans. It has to do with the community. It has to do that we should all be one.
Okay, thank you. Kiran, to that point, you got as we said, the Democrats are in a definite minority on the council right now,
Yes.
7-2. You have a governor's race running alongside this campaign right now. You have a governor that's running as a Democrat.
Yes.
Is that going to help you or the Democratic Party, you think?
It's a mixed feeling. I personally think Democrats, registered Democrat and independent will vote almost 70+% for governor.
Right.
The way he handled the COVID crisis. Yes, there is lots of criticism from Republican and conservative. So I don't think those 30-40% Republican and conservative or libertarian
Yes, sir.
will vote for Murphy. They will not vote. So I believe Murphy, if he wins by 10-point plurality, I'm sure Democrat under the ballot has a good chance. And I'm not predicting that Democrat will have a majority in Old Bridge Council.
Right, that's what I was going to ask
But
you.
we are going to pick up at least couple of seats. That's what we are hoping. And as my political mentor, Congressman Frank Pallone and Jim Phillips always used to say, there is always, street is mostly two-way street. It's not one way. When you are in public life, you have to work with the other people and find the best possible avenue for the betterment of the community. Old Bridge is 36 square mile big town.
Yes, sir.
And it's what I call is a mosaic, as Mayor Dinkins used to say, New York City is mosaic. We have people from all over the world in this Old Bridge.
Right.
You talk Far East, you talk Middle East, you talk South Asian, you talk South African, American. So these towns are changing. This is not the town only to the majority white people. White, Hispanic, African American, Asian,
Right.
Oriental, all peoples are living in this country.
But how do you
this
break
town.
out the Republicans and the Democrats when this campaign? I mean, you've got a mountain to climb, don't you? With two Dems on the council right now, and
Yeah.
you want to get on there too. What do you do?
Yeah, if we bring two more, means if we make four, now it's all of a sudden 5-4. And I'm sure there are good people out of those Republican current councilmen,
Yes, sir.
and somebody will want to work with you if you have a right idea. As I said, you have to have a right thing.
Okay.
So I'm hoping for the betterment of this community and particularly Ward 3.
Okay.
That's
good.
what my concern.
Okay,
Because as
thank
I
you.
said, Ward 3 has many difficulties.
Okay, thank you, Kiran. Again, Republicans are in a big majority on there. That's going to help you. And if Republicans,
For me,
yeah, in the
well,
campaign,
for
with the
me,
governor.
what's going to help me is being there for the community, is being there for Ward 3. That's my main concern. Their concerns will be my concerns. Whatever their concerns, we're there to help them resolve the problem. That's where I'm at. Like I told you, I'm not whether Republican or Democrat. I'm there for the community. I'm there for Ward 3, for my area.
Do you think the governor at the top of the ticket is going to have an influence?
No, this
How
has
about
nothing to do with
turnout?
politics.
Pardon?
This Ward 3 has nothing to do with politics.
Okay.
It has to do with the community. It has to do with helping, listening to the community, serving for them, listening to what their needs are, their concerns, and advocating their behalf, and getting what they want resolved, whatever concerns they have. I can be there for them.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask you, we're closing the show now, and Enid, I'll give you the first off on this. Why should people send you to the council? Why should people, Ward 3, vote for you?
I will be there for Ward 3 in the community. I will listen to their concerns. I will advocate in their behalves.
Okay, and where are they going to find you on the ballot?
They will find me on columns down B. Column B, straight down B.
B7, I think it is, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Kiran, if you would briefly, why should people send you to the council at this time?
I have, as I said, made my home Ward 3 since 1981. And beside all those zoning board, planning board, and MUA, I also had work for the seniors of this town. 5 years in row during tax season, because I'm an accountant, tax preparer, I used to have a tax clinic in senior center to help those people to fill out tax return. Not fill out, I just prepared and give them ready product.
Okay, Kiran, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we're running short on time here. If you would just tell the people where they'll find you on the ballot.
Yes, I will be in column A, last in the column A.
You're A7. Okay,
A7.
you're A7. Okay.
A7.
Okay, Enid,
Yes, sir.
Karen, I want to thank you both for coming
Thank
in.
Thank
you.
you.
I
Thank you,
wish you
Jin.
well on the trail, both of you well on the
Thank you,
campaign
sir.
trail. And we'll see what happens November 2nd, huh? Folks,
That's decided by somebody
That's right.
upstairs.
That's council candidates for this time. We're going to bring you, as I told you, interviews with all the candidates. You can see the shows on Old Bridge Television 15, on FiOS 22, and on the Old Bridge YouTube channel. I want to thank you for watching. I'm Gene McLaughlin. We'll see you next time. Take care.